Well, soccer I think is important for me because I really like entertain myself and spend time with it and meet a lot of people, and that'll be like most of it.
I think it's one of the most important things I like to do. I spend a good amount of time doing it. I said weekly, play 2 or 3 times a day, yeah, 2 or 3 times a week for about an hour or two. So it does take a lot of time in my life, and it is important. I like it, I love it, and that's why I put so much time in it.
Actually, I play it probably like 2 or 3 times a week because I mostly play
I play like
volleyball.
2 or 3 times a week for between an hour and 3 hours, something like that.
Why? Mm, I consider it a hobby because I just spend some of my time with it, and as I said before, I play volleyball, so I like try to be I give more effort playing volleyball instead of football. So I think that
I
would be not a
think
passion.
for me, it's a mixture between both. I think it's a hobby when I practice it. It's something that I do, but it's also a passion in the sense that I watch it and I get really, really involved on the results of my favorite teams, and I get really. It actually has an impact on my sense of on my humor, on how I feel on a daily basis. Say if my favorite team wins, I'm gonna be very, very happy, and if it loses by a really bad gap, I'm gonna be really upset. So if it has an impact on how I feel, I think it could definitely be considered passion. But when I play it, I'm just there for to have fun, to get better, to just to exercise for a little bit. So there's a little bit of a contrast between those two.
No, it's volleyball as well.
For sure, by far my favorite sport. Yes. Um,
Well, since I was little, I sort of played soccer, but as the time passed by, I knew about volleyball, and I preferred playing more volleyball than football or soccer.
I started playing since I was a little kid. Let's say like 5 or 6 years old. In South America, is a huge sport. It's like something very cultural. So in South America, there's at least from where I'm from in Ecuador, we don't have like that much diversity on other sports that people practice. So everyone's like really, really involved in soccer. So everyone plays it. Not everyone. Most of the people, like 70% of the population, plays it. And so I started very early in it. And how much impact does it have in my life? It's a way on which I get involved with my friends. I share a lot of my friends with my family. We created a team with my family that play against other neighborhoods. So it serves as a way to connect with people, to develop myself physically, to be healthy, to relieve stress. So it's a very important part of my life, I think.
Well, I think everybody could play it because nowadays there are actually even like in Paralympic sports they actually have like a soccer or even volleyball hat. So I think what everybody like who like to play soccer, even um, there's some soccer blind people play soccer. It sounds like really surprising, but it's true. So I think everybody can play.
It depends on the position, and it depends on your strategy and how you play it. There are players that are very strategic that don't need very much like a lot of speed, or yeah, it all depends. But I do think there's some minimum, as long as you can run, as long as you can stand up, as long as you can back up, and as long as you can jump, you can play. It's like depending on your fit, on your how fit you are, it's gonna determine what kind of player you are. So yeah, there are minimum requirements, but if you pass the requirements, you can definitely, anyone can play soccer.
Well, physiological, yeah. Yeah. Let's say about cardio or just a regular sport, just to like we keep being have a nice health.
Yeah, as I said, since I was a little kid, I started playing it, and that's pretty much all I played during lower school, middle school, and high school. And I definitely have a stronger legs than the rest of my body. So I definitely think it developed like a stronger lower body than upper body. But obviously, it depends on how much you play. But in my case, yeah, I think it has had some physiological changes on me, for sure.
I've been in the recreational center a couple times, and I've seen many. Well, sometimes I've seen a lot of people, and sometimes I've seen not too much. But I think yeah, it's actually a well-known sport here in Boulder.
That's an interesting question. Well, joining the U.S. Well, I can't. In contrast to the U.S., I think soccer is a little more popular than the rest of the American population because of how much diversity it has from the rest of the world. But then again, is the people and the environment that I'm like exposed to that is like a college town, and most of my friends are college students, so it's like a big diversity. So on the population that I'm exposed to, I think is a little more popular than common, but definitely not as much as other places in the world.
And actually, my answer will be like yes. Is that sport soccer is gaining more popularity here in the U.S. But it's still football. American football is still like the top played sport, but actually soccer is like being a good recognized sport here in the U.S. So I think it's pretty popular.
I've heard this conversation a lot of times with a lot of friends. It's getting more popular um, lately because the U.S. is getting better and better. There, I think this is my personal point of view, my personal opinion. I wasn't U.S. wasn't that great in soccer, and because of that, people weren't really paying a lot of attention to it. They were just really more focused on what they were good, which is like basketball and football and that. So lately, it's becoming better, more popular, more resources put into it. People are starting to like it. I think I haven't seen the contrast between before and now because I just got here like 3 years ago. But that's what I've heard, and that's what I think too. But I'm not entirely sure.
I like Real Madrid for from Spain of the Euro Cup or the UEFA Cup. So
It's still my team, my hometown team is Liga de Quito, as they did a lot of great things. It was a small team, obviously. South American soccer don't get a lot of investment and from companies, but even though I don't have a lot of time to watch their games, I still think is my favorite team. I don't think I'm ever gonna find another team that generates the same passion that they generated on me when I was a little kid. So I don't think I'm ever gonna find another replacement for that.